Welcome to the Concrete Genius Podcast. I'm your host, Coach John. I got a special guest for you today. Good friend of mine, like my little brother. Solid coach, stood by me through it all. Basketball veteran, great father, great community leader, great friend, somebody I have a lot of conversations with. My guy, Coach Keith Dabney. What up?
Appreciate it, man. What's up, man?
How you feeling?
Cool, man. Cool. Can't complain. Just out here grinding, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah. What you got going these days?
I'm actually in school right now. I'm a first-year apprentice as an electrician, man. Just decided to take a different route, a little bit more lucrative route.
Yeah.
Can't stay stagnant in one place, man. So that was something I looked at, man, not even just for myself, but for the outcome of my family, man, and setting them up in a better position.
Yeah.
Just financially. So,
yeah. Yeah.
It's a marathon, man, not a sprint. So take the good with the bad.
Speaking of the family, you done had a couple of little ones.
Yeah. About to be 2 and 4, so I feel like time is flying by. Now, they keep me busy.
Yeah.
Especially the boy, man. He rowdy, man.
He rowdy.
He's rowdy, man.
Yeah. So having kids, they do that recharge you?
It can. It can definitely. It makes you still feel young, because you gotta stay up with them. You gotta keep up with them, and then having, one that's in high school, you gotta stay up on certain terminology and you know how it goes, and just try not to fall too far behind, because they got likes and interests. So realizing that boys are a little bit different than girls.
Yeah.
The energy you gotta have with a boy is crazy. Girls, they kind of chill out, man.
Yeah.
So even both of them, they both just chill. Even at 4 and 16, man, they chill. Well, 3, that would be 4, but they just chill out, man.
So you see little man with the activity already?
He just be moving, jumping, playing, crawling, falling.
Yeah.
Like, he just don't stop, man. So it's just, you just walk around.
Yeah.
Just walk around with him. He don't want to ever let me go. So it's a beautiful thing to see, man, and feel. But it's definitely different. Yeah,
that connection is amazing, man. I'm glad you're getting to have it. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to ask you, man, like your history. You was already established as a player. For those that don't know, I was kind of going through NWA hoops. I needed some coaches that I can rely on, but I could also trust, because I'm very family oriented in my friendships. And I reached out to you. What made you take a chance to decide to come coach with me? My kids was transitioning from 7th to 8th grade.
I didn't have any issue with you. I didn't really know you. Seemed like a cool guy, just through Twitter, which is X now, but I ain't gonna call it X. But even going through it, man, and just kind of seeing how you did have your kids, you did have JJ, you did have like a solid team. I seen that you were with Indiana Rise for a hot second. And just how you kind of moved throughout it. It wasn't anything malicious. You kind of ruffled a few feathers, but I was with it. Every once in a while you got to ruffle a few feathers and to get to where you want to get to, and achieve some things that you need to achieve. So I think, what was it, 2018, 2017?
I think it might have been 18, maybe. Well, it had to be 17.
17.
Yeah, it had to be 17, because I was moving out here.
So, then that was just the time I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do coaching-wise, and it was the first time I'd ever give myself a chance to even think about AAU. I had it brought out to me a few times. I was like, man, I ain't messing with that stuff. So finally just kind of seemed like the right thing to do. I was leaving, I just got done with Hal, and I didn't know if I was going to ever go back there or what the opportunities were going we're gonna lie, but it gave me a little transition time to feed that need of coaching and whatnot. So that's kind of really why I took the chance. You gave me a chance to coach AAU, so I was like, all right, man, it's an opportunity. In the way that you said, I can still be myself. You come in, you teach the kids what you want to teach them. You're a high school coach. You kind of know what it takes to get them to the next level. So don't ever let it be a hindrance.
Yeah.
You know? Let's work. But pretty much, let's work together. Let's collab and make this the best possibility for the kids. It ain't even about us. It's about getting those kids in a good situation.
Yeah. I was glad you did it. Like, for me, I think the one thing I wanted to stress to you, because I had watched you. I know, obviously, we'll get into it more, but I knew you was on the Cathedral staff, the championship staff. Tech staff, the championship staff at Tech. I remember that. Then I watched you a couple of times coaching the city. I knew your energy. I saw the way the kids responded to you. You know what I mean? And I was just like, solid guy. Obviously, the relationship with Rodney, Franklin, I just knew, and I saw you on Twitter. I'm like, man, let me link up with dude. Because I'm always I'm smart enough to know that, I need to inject new blood around my kids. And I wanted you to come in and know that, hey, man, they might say I'm a dominant personality, but you got total control of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I think that was big, that I let you come in, be you, be yourself. You get on kids. I never once said, hey, don't hamper them. So I think that evolution kind of helped our growth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was definitely it's a fun time.
Yeah.
It was just, and it just kind of hit off. We go in practice. It was still it was structured. There was discipline to it, but it was still let's have fun.
Yeah.
We still got to make it fun. And just the ability to kind of teach those kids what it was going to take just to play varsity, not even be, successful, just to get to the point where you're playing and being a factor on varsity at such a young age was something I took pride in myself for. The tournaments that we go to and just coaching against other coaches, which is fun. I've had to battle Delaney and Hawkins and Kiefer and some pretty high established coaches. Even in that year I was at Tech as the head coach, and just to kind of go back down to 8th graders, it's like, all right, this guy, let's figure out what his best player's weakness is, and let's just go ahead and just talk to these kids while I can still talk to the coach and get the coach out the game plan. And it's a game within a game, and that's probably the best thing I liked about it. And you played the game within the game also. Hey, if you get in this coach's head, he may just tilt her off and go somewhere else. This team haven't played this team, so they players that they can't go da-da-da. All right, cool. Now I know how to scheme it up. Let's go play defense. Defense was always our best offense, and that was something that you stressed also, was just defense. We can play all the offense you want to, but if we ain't got it defensively, we just ain't.
Got a guard, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it was just a situation where I already knew I'm a guy who I've mastered being smarter than people always gonna give me credit for. That's how I survive life. So I know on them sidelines, a lot of people see a tall black guy, he the energy guy or the drop step, jump hook guy. Nah, man, I'm gonna whoop your ass on this board. So even in the first practices, you brought the pads out. You was on JJ ass hey, bro, man, we still playing like we in the city. You've been out in the suburbs. I never once was on no timeout. I encouraged all that, and I think the fact that I allowed you to be you and stay out the way is what really made it work. You know what I'm saying? I always give guys the autonomy to be themselves, because I feel like if you bring in a coach and you trying to short leash them, it never works. And I think that was the joy of it,
Yeah, no, it was, because for you it's still personal, because you've been playing these teams for, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So y'all got a little bit of established relationship. I'm just the new blood. So for me, it was just whatever rivalry y'all had on, fuck it, we here. Let's go ahead and just do it. Let's feed into it, and it's just us against the world, because at the end of the day, that's all every AAU team is. You got to have a persona of it's just us against the world. And then having the big NWA sign on your chest makes it a little bit different. So, going into tournaments that you're not really supposed to compete in and win in, that was always a fun thing too. Knowing that, the kids we had, whether it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, It was just forward. All right, we know we got some hungry kids. They gonna play hard, and if anything else, we ain't gonna just take a L. We gonna go down fighting and swinging. And they trusted. They just trusted the process. After a few wins, it started to kind of come together, and I think we both found our niche around each other, our groove of, hey, I'm gonna be at this table, but hey, coach, check this out. Let me look at this, or hey, you think about this? But nah, I ain't thinking about that. We're gonna say this. All right. It was more bouncing off of each other, which, me being the personality I am, I'm not threatened by nobody saying something that could help me. Something I had to learn, even coming through the ranks of Tech. I didn't know anything. I knew how to hoop. I knew how to kind of teach it, but to see a guy like Delaney structure his practices and stuff like that, it gave me some pretty much structure and how it's supposed to look like at a high level, at a championship level. Yeah, having a kid like Trey listen to the coach, that don't always happen where you're a superstar player listens to the coach. Superstar player. So for him to have that type of command and that relationship, which is probably the biggest thing that I did learn while I was coaches, it's all about relationships. Yeah, kids will do whatever you want to as long as you have the proper relationship with them. Yeah. So that's kind of how it went through. We had a good relationship, and the kids that we all had a good bond, a good relationship. You get on them, but they ain't gonna take it personally because they know it's coming from a loving place. Yeah. And
I always feel like my key as coaching, whether I'm bringing a coach in like yourself or I'm coaching kids, is my ego is only in what I can teach you. It's never in trying to empower you. Like, I'm going to get your respect by what I can teach you, by the organization, by the structure, by the results. I don't want you just to respect me because I'm a loud adult. If I got to get respect like that, I'm done. I'm going to retire. So even when bringing in coaches, it's like, hey, I make a suggestion. Nah, I'm going to stay with. Cool. You got to check your ego at the door for the greater good to work. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we really had in spades, for real. That's what allowed us to kind of be road warriors and take it to another level. But you see, because you came in right at the right time. I was still at full power. I was going through a lot. I had some health issues and stuff, but I really didn't realize what I had. But now looking back, they had to pick us apart because I had a whip stick. You know what I'm saying? From all over the country. We had people driving 2 hours twice a week to come practice with us, which is rare. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even as they decimated the players, you stuck by me. And then it was the infamous trip. We went to Ohio. 6 players, you know what I'm saying? 1 Buckeye Prep. Yeah. Just let's talk about the family aspect of what we had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a wild weekend. Just to have the players that we had, some back out, some drop out. Yeah. Picking up, kids from here and there. Me and Jay, we rode with you and your wife and the kids. So it's 6 people in the back of a Suburban or something like that. Just like, all right, we're here. Yeah. It was, Willie's mom, Miss Kim. She did what she had to do. She got New Line, Willie there. JJ. Who else was there?
Miss Sadie, BJ,
yep.
Yeah, Miss Amber.
Yep.
Brody,
good old Brody. So we had a group of parents, even at the games, that we just kind of stuck together. It was the parents that would come, the players that would come, and it was what it was. It's never no backing down. That was a hellacious weekend. Yeah. So you had to play some dudes from St. Louis. Yeah. Them dudes from St. Louis, they look rough, man. That running jump, man, and they just want to speed the game up. So you got to go through that. You had to go through that team. Was that the weekend we played the Canadians?
Yeah, we played the Canadians.
The 16-year-olds.
The 18-year-olds.
The juniors, the seniors to be.
We played
from Canada. They said it was a whole different concept over there than it was here. Still beat them.
We played the niggas from Dayton that ended up getting an EYBL deal.
Yeah.
Niggas had us by 17, played them niggas.
Yeah, down 17. I don't know how the hell we came back. We just started running the jump.
Yeah.
That was probably the best. Sometimes the best offense was basically scrapping the whole game plan and saying, let's go play.
Let's go play.
And it happened a few times. It wasn't just that tournament. It happened another tournament we had out here. But even that last game, which is funny because I actually did take that concept of going 4 corners. That's what we do at Tech.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Stall it, yeah.
Stay here. We just got through playing a track meet, bro. Like, let's chill. Like, they want to stay in zone. We up 10. Let's chill.
Yeah.
And then having the whole crowd, they in Ohio just mad. Like, y'all ain't gonna hoop?
Yeah.
Tell them get out the zone.
Yeah.
We up. We ain't got it.
Yeah. That was some of the most hostility I felt. It was so mad. I'm like, y'all down 10 playing 2-3. We got 6 players. We gonna rest. It's the championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to stay in there for 2, 3, 4 quarters. I mean, they got in there in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And I think we was up like we started running. They didn't want to. And it was just that we was taking bad shots. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Somehow, come on, we ain't got to do nothing, man. Yo, JJ Middle, Willie Newlock, Big Martez here. Just chill.
Yeah.
Just chill. If it ain't no layup or a foul, we ain't taking it. And that was some of the things we had to take. Trey, you get in the middle. CJ, Jeremy, Mikey.
Yeah.
Or no, Mikey was in the middle. We had Trey and CJ at the top. So you got Mike Jones, who was our best zone passer in the middle. You have Jeremy, and you have I think it was Josh Woodfield being there, or JP. They'd be over just sitting in the corner. So it's just like, all right, if you don't step up with Mikey, he's going down through the middle, which is why I had JJ in that middle, because he'd take it face up and he's gone, or he's gonna make the right play.
Yeah.
And it was just the same thing. Like, all right, best playmaker in the middle that we can find, like in a zone. 2 solid ball handlers I ain't got to really worry about. And then 2 guys in the corner that know if they need to duck in, they can duck in or they can shoot that thing.
Yeah.
And them dudes was in a 2-3 zone and they bring one person up.
We was tearing their ass up. Yeah, we was tearing their ass up.
As soon as he got out of it, attack, we gone. 5 out and it was gone.
Yeah.
It was just, it's probably the best thing that's probably happened to that program as far as victory-wise. It was just, we wasn't supposed to win that game. Not at that pace that we just got through playing that game in Dayton.
Yeah.
And as much energy as those kids spent, they were tired.
Yeah. And I've been proud of my son for a lot of things, but that's got to be up there because just the conditioning to play that whole game, the entire game, like our core players, like we only had 6 players, so we'd be trying to get dudes 30-second rest at the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? It did. Like, as soon as we got done playing, they was like, oh, y'all playing right here.
Next. Like,
yeah.
All right, man. We don't get no little 20-minute break. We got to go straight from the UNLV running gun to playing just a 2-3 at Syracuse. And it was like, all right, well.
They was trying to lead that championship in Ohio.
Well, styles make fights, and that's one thing that you got to learn in coaching and seeing so many different styles by coaching within Indy and the city, going through Sectional 10, which is a murderer's row, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like Warren, LC, LN, Tech, Cathedral, and then you add in addicts. Like, dog,
it's tough, yeah.
You don't want to play that all. Like, and then, so now you got different styles even within that section that you got a game plan for. It's like, all right, yo, Dabney, you got this one.
Yeah.
Hey, you got this team. You got this team. You got to scout 6 different teams that play 6 completely different ways.
Yeah.
And it makes you just better at your craft.
Yeah.
You have to spend that much time on film to see which kid has weaknesses, their counters. It smartens you up real quick.
Yeah. In Indiana, you better be on the analytical. You better know how to watch film too. You know what I mean? What I took from you was that 2-1-2. You know what I mean? I think that's what really took it to another level because I'm a very confident dude. And you was putting that mug in, and I'm like, okay, this has got some Jerry Tarkanian to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna start tearing some, you know what I mean? Just the application of it and just real bare bones basketball. I'm like, yeah, I rock with that. You know, I rock with that. That was fun times, man. Real fun times.
Yeah, that 2-1-2 was something that we took it from McCutcheon. They run something similar to it.
Okay.
We couldn't figure out what the hell it was for years. We're like, man, that shit, it's a 2-1-2, but it drops into a 2-3. They just had a point drop. The center man would just drop down to cover that wing. That post player would take the wing, and it would fuck you up the way you had the movements.
Yeah.
And it just kind of dawned on me one day. I was like, oh, this middle person's moving. And that's why it would morph.
Yeah.
A morphing defense, especially a morphing zone defense where your guards can be aggressive, but it was hell because it's hell to figure out.
Yeah.
It is legit hell to figure out.
Yeah, it was hell. It was hell. Because I'm big on principles, discipline, and stuff like that. So, but I'm also big on havoc. Like, I always tell people, like, you can have the greatest offense in the world, but if your players ain't tough or know how to figure things out, you're not going to beat me. You know what I mean? I'm going to always play chess defensively. I'm going to always knock you off your square. And then offensively, the game's not hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. It was fun times, and I always appreciate you and Jay for just diving into what we had. I'm very, like I said, I protect my boundaries because I don't like a lot of people around my family and my woman and shit. But y'all always was just appreciated that role, and that role allowed the friendship to grow. So before I go back into the playing days, tell me, like, when did you first get into coaching? What was your first coaching gig?
Man, it was actually, I don't know too many people know this, but I was at Anderson Prep.
No shit.
Yeah, they had just opened up. That was my first one. It was the 5th year in Anderson. So I'm done playing, so I'm just trying to figure out kind of what I want to do while I'm still in my last year up there. And Coach Slider was like, hey, there's a coaching opportunity at Anderson Prep. It's volunteer, but you thinking about doing it, keep you in the game. I'm like,
yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna go check it out, see what it's like, and I ended up loving it. Like, we sucked. I ain't gonna lie, we sucked.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of get my feet wet, seeing how those kids would develop as the year went on, just teaching basic basketball, and it made me better as a retired player.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I ended up having to actually work on my complete game. Can't teach kids if you don't know how to dribble.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And that was like my first one that no one knows about. But then that led me a couple years later when I finally got into IPS to go to Harshman Middle School as a 7th grade assistant coach. But a part of that was still going over to Tech. So that allowed me to be on Tech's coaching staff while still getting paid.
Oh, wow.
So he put me at the middle school level, at the middle school stipend, and I'll come from middle school practice and go to freshman practice. So I'll be at work all day, run the middle school practice from 2:30 to 5, grab my stuff, go over to Tech, be in Tech's freshman practice from 5 to 7. And it was just that. So that was just the first year. And then about city tournament time, I'm coming in, I'm sitting behind the bench, and Lenny's like, you can sit on the bench, right? And so that was kind of like the validation of, all right, you've been working hard, we see your efforts.
Yeah.
So now you can kind of work your way into our rotation, see what we got going on. So it was just a natural run-in, which really was kind of, I had to still earn my stripes.
Yeah.
Hey, man, take these sad kids over here. He didn't say sad.
Yeah. This your group right here. Yeah, that's how we...
this is we going to take these dudes who over here, and then you got the other 60. You got them. I'm like, God damn, man. Yeah, 60 kids?
Yeah.
All right, what can you do with them? So it's like, it's the fun. Let's go through 2-line layups. We got the side courts because the better players are running on the full court. They got the good basket.
Yeah.
It's like keep your group away from them. So you got 4 courts with 20 guys on or 15 guys per quarter, whatever it is, and just trying to make them go through 2-line layups and then passing drills and dribbling drills. You're like, man, these dudes ain't gonna be on the team. They don't even know about it. Like, y'all the layups for the slider. All right, so that's kind of how I got started. So I just kept coming, man. Gino Riley, he was the coach at Tech for not Tech, but at Pike for high second. He was my high school coach, strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
He ended up getting on at Tech, saw me, asked me if I wanted an opportunity. So how that marriage of me and Tech and Delaney and all that kind of came about. So it was just work. Just putting in the grind. It was a hell of a grind.
How many years had you been at Tech when y'all won the state championship? Was that your first year?
That was 3 seasons. Took us 3 seasons to do it. The first year was the year Trey had just came back. Not Trey. Trey was already there. Mikey just came back. A few other players that just came back from Northwest because Frank Kendrick was the coach before Delaney. He had a set of rules that not everybody kind of abided by, having to cut your hair and stuff like that. So,
oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so some of the kids transferred out, so we basically got our core back with Josh, Trey, JT, Jeremy Tyler, and Mikey. So that was like our sophomore core. First year we lose to Jeremy Hollowell in sectionals on the last second shot at Tech. So that was the first heartbreak. Damn. So now we got our junior year. This year we played Cathedral 4 times in 1 year. So we beat them the first 2 times, and they beat us when they counted. What was that? City tournament, and they beat us in sectionals.
Damn.
And that's when Trey messed up his knee going into his junior year. So Trey had his own thing going on with decommitting from IU, messing up his knee. Just a whirlwind of stuff for a 16, 17-year-old kid to go through. You went through it with JJ.
Yeah.
The recruiting stuff and hearing fans say this and that and the third. So we had to deal with that. We had to deal with the rumors of you guys are going to lose Trey to the prep school.
Yeah.
That these kids going to be here.
Be good.
Is he going to be there, or is he like what's going to happen? But they made a pledge and a commitment to us, so it was pretty solid. And then just having to go through all those experiences, and then going through that senior year and playing the best of the best, Lala Muir, Huntington Prep, those guys, man, Cathedral, just getting our lick back. Even the first game, we had Cathedral down 44-11 at half.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that. That was a boss-ass schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a boss-ass schedule. Yeah, that was a boss-ass schedule. Y'all played some heavy hitters that year. Y'all played Huntington.
Huntington Prep. Played them twice. We played them once down in Kentucky at the Mason County Shootout, and then we played them again on ESPN. We played
I remember that.
Keelan Martin, who went to Butler, played for the Pacers for a high second. He was down in Louisville. We played them. We won at Oak Hill for a hot second.
Yeah.
Personal reasons.
Yeah.
But we won at Oak Hill. But it was just whoever we could play. Lalu got the work. Marion, they got the work.
Marion got to work too.
Marion got the work. LN, LC, we had to go through a schedule, man. It was a schedule.
That was a fun year, though.
It was a fun year. It was definitely a fun year.
Yeah, that was a fun year. I remember watching that year like, damn, like, these niggas is special. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas is real special. Like, I just remember watching y'all, watching the way that y'all took on kids from out of state, wasn't scared, you know what I mean? Mikey was one of my favorite players just because of the heart he played with, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, that's a good batch. So let's talk about, after the championship, was that y'all last year together as a staff, or was it one more after that?
We stayed for 2 more years, CJ's junior and senior year.
Okay.
So we stayed for that, and it was a transition about, what it's different going from 6'10" guy that's going to dominate the offense to having to now go guard base, which we still kept the same principles. Now it was just kind of the focal point was on CJ, and he led us. We had Mario Knowles. They ended up coming over from LC. What was the kid's name?
Was that the year CJ was terrorizing niggas?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Chris. Chris was one of those dudes that came over. Ernest Miles, which is probably always gonna be one of my favorite players ever coach.
Yeah.
We figured out he was a dude from Detroit, and it was definitely evident by how he played, man. So we just kind of tutored around CJ, and then CJ just went on this tear, especially senior year.
Oh my God.
After he got that Florida State offer, he committed. He leaned out, like he looked crazy. Like, he had all that baby fat. Then he came back that incoming senior year was like, I need to reform my body. So he took a liking to the weight room, and he chiseled out. He had dropped down a bunch of weight. Like, he looked like a college guard in high school, and he would give some of them shoulders and
yeah.
I think that was the year we beat Pike on a last second buzzer beater that he is.
What he had like 50?
No. So that was a senior. His junior year, he had a floater from from the volleyball line, just a floater for 3. Veers off to running towards the crowd, which was off to his left. Games him. This is my shit.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. So yeah, he was on a tear. So that was his junior year, and then he hit him for 53, I believe. That following year.
I remember that. And that was criminal.
He came out at halftime. he said, "The basket's like a fucking ocean."
That's what he said?
Like, oh snap! Like, yeah, that's what he said. So I'm like, oh snap! He's locked in.
Yeah.
He had like 20, 23 and a half.
I remember watching him. He's lefty. And I was like, this nigga got one of the most confident jumpers I ever seen. Because he was hitting it. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he was hitting it right in people's faces. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, this nigga's a maniac, bro. Yeah, this nigga's a maniac.
CJ is probably the key for our championship run. Like, we had good guards. We had great guards. But the way he was able to step back and find his own niche into a group that had they'd already been playing together for 2 years.
Yeah.
And finding that role and having Trey come off the ball and Trey to realize that this guard's doing well. Like, he did a really good job of running the show.
So was the championship CJ freshman year?
Sophomore.
Okay. How fun was that senior year after winning? It was still fun because he was terrorizing people.
Yeah, it was. But he knew it was his time. He's like, I've sat back. I done won.
Yeah.
He had that, just that Kyrie in him.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we had Brian. I done won, but it's time for me to
need my numbers.
It's time for me to spread my wings and let you show what I can really do. And when it was simple, like, here, Ernest, come set this screen. We about to screen and roll y'all to death. If you don't step up, I'm popping it. If you do step up, I'm running past you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to hit the roller. He was a terror to just guard. And to have to guard in the half court. And then he would play defense.
Yeah.
Not as much as senior year.
Yeah.
Rightfully speaking, you got to carry the offense.
He had a heavy load, yeah.
So, he was a special guard, man.
So that year, is that the year Coach Delaney transitioned to Cathedral, right?
Yeah, after CJ's senior year, he had to do what he had to do. Family wise, career wise, it's a good opportunity, man.
I ain't mad at that.
He gave his heart and soul to Tech.
Yeah.
You give a school 5 years that taking on a load that he had to take on, whether it was, in the AD's office by himself, having all these long hours. You can only do so much before you looking at your family like, I ain't trying to really keep sacrificing my family for the pennies on the dollar that you're giving me. I'm here at 6 a.m. I may not leave some days to midnight. You got to turn right back around and do it again.
That's tough.
So.
He was AD too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough.
Be the AD, the head coach. You got to be at all the soccer, football, basketball, freshman that.
Man, that's such a pissy conference back then. With Cutchin and Marion and Richmond and shit.
So you got to take off to go to some of these places because you're the AD. And
that's tough.
To get the help, it's just stressful. If you ain't got the help like you're supposed to have.
Yeah, that's tough.
So, but that was after that year. So that's when I got the team. It was emotional. One, getting the opportunity, and then two, a person that you've been with for 5-6 years. They're taking another step, and it's like, I trust you with the keys to the car.
Yeah.
It was gonna be down regardless, just because of the people that you lost in the last 3 years. Trey, Mikey, CJ, JT, Rashawn, JP, Mario Knowles, Chris. I forget Chris's last name, but Chris, Wes, Ernest, you know, you got a lot of guys that you lose that kind of knew what it was like to win in that big culture. And a lot of the talent was drained and gone. It's hard to rebuild, man.
Yeah.
Especially in IPS, you don't get those kids that's always coming in, and you got to go. It's a hard rebuild, but
yeah,
I got a year.
What was that year like?
It was cool, man. It was fun. It's probably the most fun I had coaching, just because I knew it was all on me, but I loved it.
Yeah.
The kids took on the personality, which is probably the best thing. We had to have a me against the world personality, which we ain't got the names, we ain't got the star power, but, you know, I remember telling Coach Adams when he first came in, I was like, Ernest Miles, he was like, he's the leader. So, man, this kid can't lead shit. I was like, but Ernest is brash, man. He's a Detroit dude, man. I don't give a damn. I'm in your face. Either you gonna do it or not. He didn't know how to talk to his teammates. Fuck you, pussy. He's one of them. So it's like, hey, Ern, come holler at me. Coach, they ain't doing what I'm saying. Yo, you gotta learn how to talk to him, man. You can't be so up in your face, man, all the time. That may work up in Detroit, but some of these dudes, they ain't built like that.
Yeah.
And so he bought in. But they see me get on him because Ernest is like my little brother, man. So I get on him, man, and damn, Coach riding him. If I can ride him and he's my best player, that means I'm gonna ride all y'all the same way.
Yeah.
Taking on that structure and that family piece, but having my first game be up at Fort Wayne North, having to play Keon Brooks and Jalen Butts.
That's tough.
Extremely tough.
That's tough.
Extremely tough. Brooks goes to Kentucky, of course, and I think we're to Washington after that.
Yeah, finished at Washington. Yeah.
And then you got Butts who ended up going to DePaul, so you got two D1.
Yeah. And they both like 6'8".
Yeah. The biggest dude I got is Ernest. Now Willie, who's like 6'7", but 6'7" D3 versus 6'7"
D1. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
And that was the first game. I'm like, damn, this schedule is it ain't no joke. But it was fun because we weren't expected to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
Having to play Cathedral and knowing Delaney, me and him was he just left, so I know his calls, I know when he's gonna make a timeout, stuff like that. So that was a chess match. And the kids wanted it, I wanted it, we lost. I think we lost by a lot the first time. No. We lost, I don't know by how much, but we gave them a fight. It was at Cathedral, and we threw some punches.
Yeah.
So that was a fun game. Going on the road, because the road was up there, and, you know, McCutcheon and Lafayette and Jeff and, you know.
Marion.
But they bring out crowds.
Yeah.
They bring out, so it was like for us, we used to play in at Docetale Tech.
Yeah.
Where ain't nobody there, you got the family and, you know, maybe
the loyal supporters,
It's 30, 40 people in the stands. Now you go over to, you know, Harrison, they got
the whole city.
They all against you. So it's really like, it was fun. It was just Logansport fun. It was all just fun to go on the road and play.
Yeah.
And just have that camaraderie. But then, you know, still got to go to Sectional 10. This was before Addis got there, though. Going through that Sectional 10, we had LN the first game. So that's when they had Rocket Petty. That's when they had Lil Mike was his freshman year. Kush was still there. So our whole game plan was like, let Lil Mike handle it. No disrespect to Lil Mike, but Lil Mike wasn't Lil Mike of what he was now. He was still a freshman. He didn't know how to really run the show like he developed to. Put it all on Kush. We're gonna shut down easily. We're gonna shut down Rod. We're gonna see if Kush can beat us. We missed 20 layups. We missed 20 layups a game. I went back and counted. We missed 20 layups a game. I remember my boy Mark, man. He'll never let me live it down. So we went on a little run. So I'm looking at Kiefer. I'm like, call it. Yelling over, call it. Call the timeout. Call it. He finally calls the timeout. Just get hyped. But you can just feel it coming. And Jack was wanting to be stubborn. He didn't want to.
He didn't want to give it up. Yeah.
But you know it. You just feel it. So they end up calling it. We battled, man. We battled hard. But we just fell short. And it was crazy because even after the game, some of the Warren parents, some of the parents from other schools, like, man, your team plays hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's all I cared about.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for as a coach for real. Like you just want somebody to see the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for them to say that they played hard, it was like, all right, we're in the right direction. But, me and AD didn't see eye to eye during that year, so he wanted to go in a different direction. It was what it was. He didn't want to give a comment during the paper. But it was some garbage, man. Everything that he said in the meeting was some garbage about the whole letting go process. And, I knew it was going to happen.
So what was they trying to say? They wanted to get away from the whole regime?
So it wasn't even that. So me and Starnes, we bumped heads. And there was one time in practice, varsity practice, he's like, hey, man, you got to get off the court. Cathedral's coming. Freshman team. I'm like, dog, we got 20 more minutes of practice, man. Go sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's like, we got 10 minutes. I'm like, man, if you get the fuck off my court, man. And so me and him right then and there.
So that was AD at the time?
It's AD, yeah. So I would always come in, man, I'd work the players out before the game. Come in a tech shirt, tech sweats, nothing crazy, little jacket, tech jacket. Go out there and warm the players up. So one thing was I didn't dress appropriate for the trips. I'm like, I'm in school gear, man. What are you talking about? Yeah. Your players are out of control.
That's crazy.
What else he say? He said, I don't like the fact that, they're wearing their hoods in warm-ups. Every team in the city
put their hoodies on. Yeah, that's crazy.
Whether it was Carmel, whether it was LN, whether it was Cathedral, whether it was NC, they all had hoods up. So I'm like, man,
that's crazy.
You just don't want me here. Yeah, and then
crazy.
I had a JV coach. He was just going back, locker room talk. It's supposed to be locker room talk. It's the men. So he was going back and telling the AD what I was saying. I said, yeah, I said it. I ain't afraid to say it to you.
The JV coach was doing that?
Yeah, the JV coach was doing it. So I got hit in the back about it, but it was cool because it led me.
Who was the JV coach?
Tyrell Collins.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That led me to Hal. Led me to Hal.
Hal was fun.
Hal was fun.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I remember Christoph set me down. I was like, hey, man, I don't want your job. Just flat off the bat. I know he was a new head coach, but I don't want your job. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Just to give him that reassurance that, I'm not looking to stab you.
Undercut you.
Yeah. I just got out of that situation, so I don't want you to have the same fear I wasn't even looking towards and for. And so we kind of kicked it off from there. He's like, I just need somebody to be my varsity assistant. So he signed me up. He's like, we had, Kasaya, we had Kai, we had Tony, we had Sulzer. We ended up getting Jamil from Fishers.
Yeah.
Brandon, he was there. Boom. Like we had a cool little squad. We just
I had some rough riders. Them niggas was some rough riders at Hal.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. Playing against Hawk. Like that was that's probably Hawk and Delaney are probably two of the most fun coaches to play against.
Yeah.
Especially if you know them.
Yeah.
Because it's just a different level.
Yeah.
I remember playing City against Hawk, and we came out with that 2-1-2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, Jamal can't shoot. Let him shoot. Like, we cool. If you want to shoot, let him shoot.
Yeah.
Fine. Where Nike, I think Nike was still there. No. Nike wasn't still there. Who was? Whatever Jamal's senior year was, they had I forgot who they had there, but we can't let them score. Let Jamal do it. All I cared about was not letting them run. Like, addicts running,
Yeah. They gonna run you out the gym.
Yeah. So that was the one thing. Not saying we couldn't run. I'm not about to cater to Hawkins' game plan, man. Like that's all he wanted to do. So having to figure that out and running back at that 2-1-2 zone, and it forced Steele to adjust. We wasn't adjusting. Like I remember Christoph looked at me, so we gotta get out of it. Hit a couple threes. Fuck that. No.
Yeah.
We gonna play percentages, man. Yeah. If we got, as long as Jamal ain't in that open court and that crowd, the addict starts going,
it's over.
Yeah, it's
over.
I'm not feeding into that, man.
Yeah.
So Hawk, man, sorry, bro. I wasn't feeding into it. I told you this before, man. I run with you, man. And that led us to play Delaney Tech again, which is now I'm back with a whole different team, a whole different monster. Now we're playing chess, and it was probably the most fun I've had coaching playing chess.
Yeah.
Because we still aren't too far removed off of each other.
Yeah.
The players are still the same. I think it was Armand and all those guys were there.
Yeah.
And just having that chess match. Who's gonna call the timeout when? What are we gonna do? Defense is switching. Who's gonna be the more stubborn person? Like it's a match. And Jamil fouled out. That was the key to hurt. Kai went crazy.
Yeah.
Jamil fouled out. Kai went crazy. He started hitting a bunch of shots. We just couldn't pull it out. And I knew for my sign of respect was that I looked at him and he kind of looked up like,
yeah.
We got out this game like, because it was a fight. It's an overtime fight. I mean, you seen it. You was there. It was a thriller. It's probably one of the better games in the city that we've had in a while.
Yeah.
And they just played hard. It was funny. You saw Hal supporters come out. You saw people that weren't from Hal.
Yeah.
That gym at Tech was filled.
Yeah, it was filled. Yeah.
And that was the thing that's the difference between the city and the county, in my opinion, as far as like just that interaction, that energy you can feel just coming into the gym. You're like, this is one of them games. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta be locked in for this.
Yeah, like the city brought them out. You know what I'm saying? Like the passion for the city especially at that time, it was different because I think Manuel was kind of good for a couple of years that year. Cavassier. Mm-hmm. So you had y'all addicts. Like it was real fun. That was before they brought the mass destruction.
Tinley had Eric Hunter.
Yeah. Them city games was pretty wild. Them city games was pretty wild. So what you do at Hal? 2 years?
I did a year. Did a year at Hal. Now I was over to Addicts. And then I didn't have it, man. I ain't gonna lie. Didn't even have it. That was cool, man. I needed a break from coach. Because you don't realize how much you put into it until you kind of take a break from it. And that was after coming off the AAU. I was like, man, I've been going for almost 24 straight months, just 2 years, just basketball. Because at Tech, it wasn't no break.
Yeah,
you had to break off for that month or that week that we really couldn't do much with the kids would call.
Yeah,
they still want to get in the gym. They still want to do some individual stuff. So you accommodated it to them the best you could underneath the rules of the ISSA and what you could and couldn't do, what was on and off limits. So you just kind of made it available. But just being there, so it was cool just to have a little bit of a break.
So is that kind of the hard part? Like, you need that mental break for your family and yourself, but dudes like us who really do it for the love, it's always 3, 4, 10, 12 kids that need you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They just need you. They need you to be there. They need you to step up for them. So, but at some point you gotta realize I just need this reset. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest thing is even the ones that are in it full time, like the Hawkins, the Delaney's, those guys that are in there just all the time, they even need a break.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at them like, yo, I ain't touching the ball, I ain't touching the gym. I don't care who called, I gotta take some time. I know you wanted to go see this game, but I'm cool. Because you gotta step away. I don't care who you are, man. Even LeBron step away from the game. Yeah. Just to get a breather. You gotta have a mental reset because if you don't, you're gonna burn yourself out.
Yeah, you really are. So before I leave, I want to know, man, you a very distinguished Pike alum. You was on that 03 team. What was your years through Pike? What year did you graduate?
2004.
So you was a junior on the championship team. Yep. So you was when they lost to Westside, you was a sophomore. Mm-hmm. Damn.
So I seen Chris's last year, then they won 01, 03, runner-up 02. So it was...
So 01 was your freshman year?
Yeah.
Wow. How many did y'all win while you was there?
We ended up winning 2 out of 4, went 3 out of 4.
Went to 3 out of 4 and won 2. That's tough. Who was the coach?
Darner was the coach my freshman year, and then it was Bullington the rest of my years. Bullington and Spajeric and Linville and Billy Wright, Shabaka Lands. That was like the coaching staff. Yeah. So it was pretty solid.
So how competitive were those practices?
They were like fights. Honestly, you had to fight because you had not only did you have the older guys that wasn't gonna give you their spot, you got the youngins that's coming from behind. Rodney, Braxton, Reese, Devin Williams, Curtis White. Like, you got some people behind you. Jeff was a freshman when I'm a senior.
Yeah,
Big Dennis Ziegler. They're trying to give him. Like, they got boys that's coming. And it's just like, if I have a day off,
my spot gone. Yeah.
Which my junior year, I ended up I had undercut against LN. We played LN at Pike. Greg and Mike's freshman year. I go up for a dunk, and and I sit there, and my leg got taken out. So I done fell on my tailbone, bruised tailbone. And so now we got like sectional practice and whatnot like that. They're like, we about to give you a spot to Braxton. I'm like, damn, like this.
What year was this? Your junior year?
Yeah, it's my junior year. So I'm like, damn, I ain't trying to get I want to be dressed. So Coach Pajeric fought for me a little bit, but it was that. Like, if you was hurt, hey,
that's tough.
You better hope you get your spot back. So, but the competition never led to any jealousy off the court, which was cool. Like, in practice, if we ain't on the same team, it is what it is. We ain't trying to hurt you, but we trying to win. Whatever we got to do, we got to try to win. But it was just a loaded squad. I mean, I know I heard Rod talk about it, how they was the only team that lost in that program that year. They were. Yeah. It was wild to go 29-0 on one level, 20-0 on the JV level, and then it was like 20-1 or something like that.
Yeah, that's tough.
On the freshman level.
Yeah.
And you have a JV squad of myself, Mike Russell, Braxton, Reese, Devin, Curtis. I think Rod got some minutes freshman wise. Like, you just got a bunch of you got a bunch of guys that's just could go play varsity other places, but you just fight. And it was just how it was. You don't run from competition. You don't hide from it. You can't run or hide. Either you gonna make it or you're not. So that was the thing that Pike kind of bred was
be tough. Yeah. So what do you think, your opinion, those years, what do you think was the secret sauce? Well, not the secret sauce, but what do you think was the backbone to, was it the structure, the practices? I know it was talent, but we all need is more than talent. What you think was the structure, the practices, the teaching? What do you think that brought the most out of so many players for that specific group of years?
We were family.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't know what these kids do now, but our parents took it upon themselves to say every home game, maybe in every away game too, but definitely every home game, we had team dinner. A parent would take it, some of the parents. So we all would gather up at such and such's house for 3-4 hours before the game, laugh, eat, joke, chill out, head to the game.
That's good.
So no matter what it was, no matter how, tense moments may come, we had a friendship. We had legit friendships, and our families knew each other, our parents knew each other, and it just created a family-oriented, environment. So that was the one thing that I've always tried to take within coaching, is having that family availability, make it seem like, that door is always open. And that's probably, even when things got tough, that's what we kind of leaned back on was, we know each other.
Yeah,
This is family, and it was legit. They wanted legit success. The teaching was always great, but that family sense after going through all those wars and practices, the almost fights, the pushing, and they let it go. But they knew we were just competing.
Yeah. Now that's dope, man. I always that group produced some solid dudes. So I always I love to hear those stories. That the adversity guys went through and stuff like that. What was the adjustment when you went? Because I know you went to Hoop and Anderson. Briefly, what was it like? An adjustment, moving to Anderson, Indiana.
Man, Anderson was fun, man. It was crazy. Yeah. Man, you go from one side of Anderson, it looked one way, to you like, I'm in the hood. Like,
yeah. That's a real segregation.
It was like MLK. So every MLK is. I did MLK. I'm like, yeah, I know where I'm at, man. And it was just Anderson was cool though. It provided. It was the first time I ever had to deal with racism. I went to a school where it's pretty diverse. Yeah. And they have like a school that ain't diverse, and it was 90% white, and then the other 10%, whatever the makeup may be. It was a little rough that way, but I had some cool dudes, man. That I met Vince Lloyd, Josh, Mark, Burris, met a lot of good guys, man. Played together, still my friends to this day. And it was just cool, man. Yeah. But having to play some of them white boys in that conference, man, them dudes is they corn-fed, man. And I went from playing the wing to playing inside, and us having Nick Rogers, who was an Indiana All-Star back in his day. He just got big, bro. He just too big to move, and he just decided to quit. So we really ran that like Golden State, I'm Draymond Green, having to fight against the jokers of the world type offense.
That's tough.
So having to put on some weight and like battle through them, and it was a task. That's why I hurt now. Yeah.
You still sore from them battles, battling Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, man. There's a bunch of them too. Yeah, there's a bunch of them, but it made me better. Yeah. They didn't allow me to always use my quickness. They hit you with a stiff arm, a little elbow.
Yeah, you gonna get that. Yeah, you gonna get that shot in the back, that forearm in the back. Yeah,
hey, man, we didn't mess with you. All right, check up. He gonna take the foul, but I was definitely one of the more athletic people in the conference, man. And it was just different going from the city to playing the more. You got to be grounded. Yeah, them dudes would sit up there, pump fake you, jump up in the air, they lean down.
Oh yeah, you flipping over.
Yeah, so.
And they want you to flip over.
Yeah, it was a little rough, man. But I kind of learned to stay grounded. I didn't stay grounded the whole time. I was still going for blocks. Yeah, but you learn when. Now you let them go first. Yeah. The odd time, like, you got the free lane to the basket. If I see you go up in the air, I'm going to go catch it. But yeah. I ain't jumping first where you about to bend down and I'm about to flip.
Bridge me.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
But Anderson, it was a good time, man. It was crazy, but it was a good time.
So I want to ask you, man, before I get out of here, right? We about 6, 7 years in. Why do you think, knowing me from the outside, because, when I approached you, you got a lot of talk like, hey, man, don't mess with dude. You get in there, you see me, you see my home life, you see everything, the way I embrace you, comfortable as your daughter was around us, stuff like that. Where does that negative strive from? Is it the fact that I can't be controlled, or is it the fact that I'm too determined, too confident?
I think it's just a false narrative. You get people on a persona. Yeah. I mean, you are loud and abrasive, but it just comes with the territory. So it just it's not a malicious thing, and I think that can rub people the wrong way. Is that if you say you're this, you say you're that. They ain't like LeVar Ball for a while for saying his sons is going to get in the NBA. Yeah. It's too loud. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to prove it because you believe in your message that much. So, I mean.
Well, I think confidence overall threatens people. When you physically imposing, but your greatest gift is not your physical strength, that's when they scared of you. You know what I mean? Because I never once make it about anything but this right here. And I think that's where the challenge comes in. And I actually, to be honest, I don't know if I want it any other way, to be honest with you.
Probably not.
Yeah, because it drives me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it drives me to keep going. As we was talking, I got a position I ain't even announced. I'm always finagling some shit. You know what I mean? I'm always, because I got a competitive nature, and I think that helps me win. And that's the kind of, people I'm drawn to. And for me, all the guys that coach for me, you, Rodney, Franklin, Brock, it's always just been more just about basketball because we all turned out to be fathers, you know what I mean? Or be in relationships, doing well for ourselves. And so those are the type of mental health connections that black men need. Like, hey, bro, you good? Hey, bro, you good? So to me, that's the greatest thing about this sport, making those kind of relationships. You know, the win's gonna come, the loss is gonna come. You know, my son got a free education, a few other kids got a free education. And so just those bonds, I think that's what I'm the most proud of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the coaching tree. Like even Frank, like even went to school with Frank. So it's funny to see Frank and going to school with Riley. Even us three, it's gonna be from the same high school and same university. To run into you the same way at some point in time in our life is also just kind of crazy to think about. But it's definitely something you can attract. Like if a person is afraid of the competition, then you ain't gonna want to be around him.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. He's trying to compete just as hard as I am.
Yeah.
It may look different,
but
you respect the person that's gonna compete. The same way that you would compete.
Yeah. And I like the people that got that chip on their shoulder because don't nobody believe in them. Those are people I believe in. Because like if I can get you to harness that energy, to me that's the most powerful commodity in the world, to get somebody to believe in themselves. You know what I mean? So I always was smart enough to know I'm a fly nigga, but I know that my son always kind of, especially in his basketball journey, I surrounded him with good big bros. You know what I'm saying? They could be little bros to me, but good big bros. Dudes ain't gonna never lead them wrong. Dudes ain't gonna give them the wrong information. Lord willing, I plan to be here for a long time, but even, you know, he always got somebody intermediate to call, hey man, I'm going through this, And that's just the whole goal of it, man. That's just the whole goal of it. So, $1 million question, let me ask you, man, are you gonna you gonna get back on the sideline anytime soon?
We'll see, man. We'll see. It's still within me, but you know my schooling's gonna come first because that little paper to keep the family straight is what's most important. So if the times work out, which they can, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
I got a little something left in the tank.
Yeah. You know, I'm a little man get 4. You know, I'm gonna have him out there. So, I'm gonna have him out there ready to dribble and trap and steal and be making left hands and reverses. So I'm gonna get him out there, get him ready until you decide you got enough time after work to get back in it. But we're gonna make sure he's straight, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure he's straight.
Nah, for sure.
Nah, this been real, man. We need to do this more. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming through the back cave. You know,
no problem, man.
Yeah,
no problem. It's always good to be back here, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go let FanDuel break my heart. You know what I'm saying? Let FanDuel break my heart. Whooping my ass, but we gonna get back in here, man. Hey, one thing, what one last thing. Give me Colorado's record at the end of the year. Buffaloes.
Man, I'm gonna pencil them in for 7 games. Whether they're 7-5, 7-5, 7-6, 7. I don't know what they full schedule is like. I think they got 7 in them. I don't know how they're gonna do against USC in Washington.
Yeah, they got 4 ass whoop. They got 4 in the possible. Oregon already done. USC, Washington. And then
Oregon State still got DJ Ukulele.
Yeah, but I like Cam Ward at Washington State. I like him a little better. I think Washington State gonna be another one, especially if it's at Washington State.
They play Utah?
Oh fuck. I think that's tough. That's tough.
Hey, can I rescind that to about 6?
That's tough.
Maybe 5.
That's tough, man. You know, I just hope when this nigga's 5 and 4, man, we still get the same, we still get the same rappers and athletes at the game, man.
They got Kawhi out for the good game. It's over. You ain't gonna see Kawhi no more. It's over, man.
So Lil Wayne ain't doing no more intros.
He may do one. He may, depending on who they play. If they play USC at Buffalo, he come out for that.
Yeah, he come out for that one. Yeah,
Michael Penix in Washington, they play them in Buffalo. They come out for them games. But
Utah last game of the year, it ain't gonna be a lot of niggas.
You ain't about to get them for Arizona.
Yeah,
he come for Arizona. Arizona State. Nah.
Nigga, at Salt Lake City, November 22nd.
No, BYU, they're not coming for that one.
Oh
Nah, it's none of that. So
yeah,
he's doing what he was supposed to do when it shocked the world. He's already done that. Once he starts to because that O-line is trash.
awful.
that O-line. I had him in minus at plus 30 and a half yesterday, thinking they're going to lose. They shouldn't lose by 31.
Yeah.
I was...
Oh, you bought it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
I gave him the max points FanDuel would let me give him. And that was 31.
Yeah.
They got, was it 49 to 6?
Yeah, and that white coach thought he was Tupac, too.
Yeah, Dan Lanning.
Yeah. They play for clicks. We play for, come on with all that shit, man.
So, I mean, once he gets that O-line straight, they got some people, but they not there. They look too small at certain key positions, like the freshman Dylan Edwards, but he a itty-bitty thing, man.
And then, without having Travis, you don't have that alpha on the edge, bro. You need that alpha DB and wide receiver. He was both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now that make it mediocre. They just cover the short stuff. They don't have nobody to take the top off. And then them linemen, they need to go get them some Negroes from Mississippi or something, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Them cute dudes, man, with the color hair and shit, bro. Them niggas, the Mohawks. I mean, go get you some niggas, man. Big old black 200% Negroes, man. Get you a nigga Reed with his fingers, nigga. Yeah, man. Go get you some Negroes or some redneck hillbillies. You know what I'm saying? I don't discriminate, but them linemen, them dudes that look slim and they do yoga and shit, bro, you not winning shit with them dudes, bro.
Oregon's line was just whooping them.
Yeah, whooping their ass, bro.
They had the 6'7" left in.
Yeah.
He kept getting upended. He kept getting up into his pads, kept throwing him up. I was like,
he was the one whipping the top. I think the slim black dude, the dude got 4 holding penalties. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, no, it was he has some. It's gonna take him a few years.
Yeah,
that's what people don't really realize is he had lightning in the bottle his first 3 games.
Yeah,
but it's for him to have some sustainability. It's gonna take him a few years, a few classes to finally get out there and, like you said, them body types start to look a certain way.
You gotta get some Negroes, man.
You went through the transfer portal, but some of them dudes they weren't wanted on their own team. So you get some of these rejects from Alabama. They from Alabama, but not every kid from Alabama is good.
He got to recruit some 5-star O linemen, D linemen, get the trenches right. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, just the 3 games he won already been an accomplishment. The money he's made for Boulder and stuff has been an accomplishment. But now it's it's more because if you on my Twitter timeline, it was damn near Trump versus Obama in that motherfucker, bro. White folks was so happy. You know what I'm saying? He did it for us. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So he's got to understand with that confidence and that braggadocio, you're gonna draw that type of negative energy. You know what I mean? So people, when you confident about winning, it makes more people want to see you lose. So that's what we gotta live for. Yeah,
he'll be all right though.
Yeah, he'll be good.
If they give him time, he'll be all right. But they don't give him no time. Any coach needs some time to rebuild.
Well, I think the thing now, ideally, I still think he's going to end up at Florida State. You know what I'm saying? I got family went to Florida State. I think the end game, 5 years, especially if this new guy bottom out, because with the conference realignment, I think Colorado's going back to the Big 12, if I ain't mistaken. So he'll have some time. He'll get to go against Kansas State and Iowa State and all them niggas. So he'll have a couple of years to try to manifest and get it together. But I think in 4 or 5 years, if he don't get to where they in the playoffs, I think he's gonna get bored with it anyway. Especially once his kids leave. I think he's gonna get bored, So well, cool, man. Let me go and let you get out of here. I appreciate you taking the time, bro. Sincerely.
No problem, man.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate y'all. JJ, Rodney, Franklin, Brock, the whole crew, Brody, Martez, BJ, Leaper, New Lie, everybody, man. We appreciate y'all. It's been a great run. We're going to keep it going. Sauce. What's up to the live? ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. I'm your host, Sauce McKenzie, SAUSKI_McKenzie, SAUCE_McKenzie. Concrete Genius Media on Facebook, Concrete Genius Podcast on TikTok, Concrete Genius Pod on YouTube. I know I'll sync them all one day. It's coming. Let me go see these scores, man. We out. Peace.